we have to talk about the massive, earth-shattering medical crisis that is about to drop like a nuclear bomb on Days of Our Lives. For weeks, we have watched Joy Wesley complain about sudden, severe hand pain following that terrifying car crash she had with baby Kelsey. A lot of fans, myself included, honestly thought she was just playing up her injuries to manipulate Alex Kyriakis and drive a wedge between him and Stephanie. But here's the kicker, you guys. Joy is not faking it. Her illness is far, far worse than anyone expected, and it has left Dr. Kayla Johnson absolutely shocked and terrified. Let's set the scene at Salem University Hospital. Joy is sitting in that sterile examination room, probably expecting Kayla to prescribe some physical therapy or maybe some mild painkillers for nerve damage. Instead, Kayla walks in, and you can instantly tell that her usual composed professional doctor demeanor is completely shattered. Kayla looks pale. She looks genuinely frightened. When Kayla finally delivers the diagnosis, it sucks the air right out of the room. Joy is suffering from severe spinal stenosis, and as Joy frantically demands answers about her chances of a full recovery, Kayla has to look her daughter's worst enemy dead in the eye and deliver the ultimate devastating blow. The worst case scenario is paralysis, Kayla tells her. Can you even believe it? Paralysis. Joy looks back at Kayla in absolute stunned disbelief, desperately trying to process the fact that she might lose her ability to walk. The sheer terror on Joy's face is palpable. But let's be real for a second and dive into the deep psychological layers of this moment, starting with Kayla. We all know Kayla took the Hippocratic Oath, and she is a phenomenal doctor who cares deeply for all her patients. But she is also a fiercely protective mother. Kayla knows exactly what Joy has been doing. She knows Joy has been using baby Kelsey as a pawn to drain Alex financially and emotionally. She knows Joy is actively trying to destroy Stephanie's marriage. So imagine the sheer internal conflict tearing Kayla apart in that exact moment. She is delivering a life-altering, tragic diagnosis to the woman who is actively ruining her daughter's life. But Kayla's shock and fear aren't just about the medical severity of the spinal stenosis. Kayla is smart. She is looking at Joy and realizing exactly what this diagnosis means for Stephanie's future. A paralyzed, vulnerable Joy is the ultimate anchor that will permanently tie Alex to her. Kayla is terrified because she knows this medical nightmare is going to trap her daughter in a completely unwinnable situation. And what about Joy? My jaw hit the floor watching the preview because, for the first time since she arrived in Salem, Joy's manipulative mask completely slipped. She is genuinely terrified. But you know what happens when a master manipulator gets pushed into a corner? They weaponize their tragedy. A lot of fans think this diagnosis will humble Joy and make her back off, but I actually think the exact opposite is going to happen. Once the initial shock wears off, Joy is going to realize that this spinal stenosis is the ultimate trump card. How can Alex possibly walk away from the mother of his child when she is facing permanent paralysis? He can't. And Joy knows it. Let's connect the dots back to the show's recent history because the writers have been laying the groundwork for this brilliantly. Think back to August. Joy had that car accident when her tire blew out with Kelsey in the back seat. She called Alex in a sheer panic, leaving a desperate voicemail. And what did Stephanie do? Suffering from her own untreated PTSD, Stephanie deleted that voicemail, assuming Joy was just faking another emergency. That deleted voicemail is about to become the most toxic, explosive secret in Salem. If it turns out that the trauma from the car crash exacerbated Joy's spinal stenosis, Alex is going to blame Stephanie for delaying Joy's medical care. The guilt trip is going to be astronomical, and it is going to absolutely obliterate their marriage. We also have to talk about Alex's massive savior complex. If you look at Alex's psychological profile, the guy's practically wired for this kind of codependent disaster. He was abandoned by his biological mother, Angelica Devereaux, which left him with deep-seated abandonment issues. He is already obsessed with being the perfect father to Kelsey to make up for his own childhood trauma. Now, throw in a baby mama who is facing the very real threat of becoming paralyzed. Alex is going to go into absolute overdrive. I predict he will insist on moving Joy into his apartment or even the Kyriakis mansion to become her full-time caretaker. This brings us to the absolute nightmare scenario for Stephanie Johnson. I honestly feel so bad for Stephanie right now. She is already drowning in trauma from being kidnapped by Owen Kent. She accidentally fired a loaded gun at Joy in a PTSD-fueled panic. And now, the woman she shot at, the woman trying to steal her husband, is facing a tragic, debilitating illness. If Stephanie complains about Alex spending all his time with Joy, she is going to look like a heart. She is completely checkmated. Joy has won, and she didn't even have to lift a finger to do it. The universe just handed her the ultimate victory on a silver medical platter. This storyline gives me major flashbacks to some of the greatest medical dramas in Salem's history. Remember years ago when Maggie Kyriakis was paralyzed? We watched her struggle in those iconic red shoes, fighting to regain her mobility while her entire family rallied around her. We've seen John Black deal with severe mobility and neurological issues. Salem has a rich history of exploring the devastating impact of paralysis on legacy characters. But the difference here is that Maggie and John were beloved heroes. Joy Wesley is a highly controversial, manipulative interloper. Watching a character we love to hate face such a humbling, terrifying reality makes for incredibly complex television. It forces us as viewers to grapple with our own empathy, and you won't believe what I think happens next. With the threat of paralysis looming, I think we are going to see a massive custody shift. Joy won't be able to care for Kelsey on her own if she loses her mobility. Alex will take full physical custody, and he will use the Kyriakis fortune to hire the best specialists in the world. But will he turn to DiMera science? We know EJ is hoarding the experimental Versavix drug, and Dr. Rolf is always lurking in the shadows with some twisted miracle cure. Could Alex make a deal with the devil to save Joy from paralysis? I would not put it past him. This storyline is an absolute masterpiece of soapy drama. It blends real-world medical terror with high-stakes romantic manipulation. Kayla's horror, Joy's shock, Alex's inevitable guilt, and Stephanie's impending emotional collapse. It is a recipe for television gold. I cannot wait to see how Kayla navigates the ethical minefield of treating her daughter's worst enemy, and how Joy leverages this tragedy to secure her place in the Kyriakis' empire.
Salem is never going to be the same after this diagnosis, and we will be here to break down every single tear, fight, and plot twist along the way.